This is the second part of a Level 1 Functional Skills Math paper from Edexcel. In this part you can use a calculator. Question 1. Here are 5 numbers. Calculate the range of these numbers. So the range is worked out by taking away the smallest number from the greatest number. Looking at the 5 numbers, this is the greatest number, or the biggest number, and this is the smallest one. So we're going to do 13,958 take away 4,249. You see how I've lined them up, so we've got units under the units and so on. But that's only important if you're doing this by hand. If you're using a calculator, you don't need to line them up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the working out and then check using a calculator. So I've got to take away 9 from the 8, which means I need to borrow 1. And this becomes 4. And this 18. So 18 take away 9 gives me 9. 4 take away 4 gives me 0. 9 take away 2 gives me 7. 13 take away 4 gives me 9. 9,709 is the answer. Use estimation to show a check of your answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this number to the nearest 1,000 and this to the nearest 1,000 and see whether the actual answer is anything close to this. So 13,958, that is close to 14,000. That's what you rounded to the nearest 1,000. 4,249, that is about 4,000. So 14,000 take away 4,000 leaves me with 10,000, which is very close to the answer we had. Ingredients for 4 sausage rolls: 450 grams sausage meat, 1 egg, 1 red onion, 250 grams ready-made pastry. Emily wants to make 75 sausage rolls for the party. Ready-made pastry comes in packs. There are 500 grams of pastry in each pack. Emily thinks 9 packs of ready-made pastry is the smallest number she needs to make 75 sausage rolls. Is Emily correct? Show why you think this. So 250 grams makes 4 sausage rolls. In a pack, there is 500 grams of pastry, so that's double, which will make 8 sausage rolls. So 1 pack will make 8 sausage rolls. What about 9 packs? That will make 8 times 9, which is 72 sausage rolls. So 9 packs only make 72, not 75. So is Emily correct? We're going to say no. It makes 72 rolls. Sausage rolls. Gareth is changing his gas supplier to GES Energy. He has this information. GES Energy, annual fee £231.65 plus 4.71 pence for each kilowatt hour used. Get 5% off the total charge if you pay by direct debit. Last year, Gareth used 42,000 kilowatt hours of gas. Gareth thinks he will use the same amount of gas this year. He will pay by direct debit. Work out the total gas bill Gareth will pay using GS Energy. So the annual fee is £231.65. Plus the 4.71 pence for each kilowatt hour, and he used 42,000. So we're going to go 42,000 times 4.71, which is 197,820. Now that is pence because we input pence. Now we need to add these two amounts together before we take the 5% off the total, because he's paying by direct debit, so he's going to get 5% off. But these two are in two different units. One of them is in pounds, the other one is in pence. So I could either convert this into pounds or convert this into pence. I'm going to go and convert this into pounds. There are 100 pence in a pound, which means I'm going to divide this by 100 to get the same amount in pounds. So that's going to give me 1978.20, £1,978.20. So I'm going to add that now to the £231.65. Five and 0 is 5, 6 and 2 is 8, 1 and 8 is 9, 3 and 7 is 10, 1 and 9 is 10 and the 2 is 12, 1 and 1 is 2, so £2,209.85. Again, you could have worked it out using a calculator. Now we're gonna work out the 5%. 5% is 5 out of 100 of the amount, which is 2,209.85. So in the calculator, you're going to input 5 divided by 100 times 2,209.85, which gives us 110.4925. Taking that away from the £2,209.85, we get 2,099.3575. Now when it comes to money, we only need 2 digits after the decimal point. So looking at the digit after, that is a 7, which means we're going to round this up. So this becomes a 6, and we keep the rest of the digits unchanged. So £2,099.36. Sam wants to create a space for water play in the village hall. He has this diagram of the floor in the village hall. The space for water play must be in the shape of rectangle 3.5 meters by 4 meters, at least 2 meters away from other activity spaces, at least 3 meters away from any door. Draw a space for water play on the grid below. We've got the key which says 1 square length on the grid represents 1 meter on the village hall floor. So this length here will be 1 meter on the village hall floor. So when we say we've got to draw a rectangle that is 3.5 meters by 4 meters. In other words, that will be 3.5 squares by 4 squares on the grid. So that's 1 meter, any of the sides. The activity space is colored in grey. So we've got story corners, you can see, slide, art space and sandpit. And we're told that this bold line represents a door. So that's a door. And this one is a door as well. Looking at the space, we're going to have to draw this on the right of the grid because there is more space available. So we're going to draw a rectangle that is 3.5 squares by 4 squares, and keeping a distance of at least 3 squares from the door and 2 squares from the other activity spaces. So probably if we do it here and then coming up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3.5, 1, 2, right. So if we join these dots, we should have the water play meeting all 3 of the criteria we're given. This doesn't look perfect, but it's going to be much easier when you do it on paper. At least it gives us the idea. So now we're going to label this as water play. And it is done. Here is information about the distances travelled in miles by some people yesterday. Sandra starts to show this information in a grouped frequency table. Complete the group frequency table. Use 5 equal groups. So we've got 2 groups already, 1, 2. So that is 1 to 5. This is 6 to 10. So this is going to be 11, which is the next number after 10, to 15. So similar to this. Then we're going to do 16 to 20, 21 to 25. From 1 to 5, we've got 8 numbers. Let's cross them out. So there is 1, there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. 6 to 10. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 11 to 15. We've got 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 tallies. 16 to 20. We've got 1. And 21 to 25, we've got 1. Let's check this. How many have we done in total? 8 and 7 is 15, and the 3 is 18, 19, 20. Are there 20 numbers in total? 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 20. So we've done this correctly. Question 6. Manindra wants to put slabs in part of a garden. She has this sketch. All corners are right angles. We've got the key here which tells us that the space for slabs is colored in grey. Each slab is in the shape of a square with sides of length 600 millimeters. Manindra thinks she needs 65 slabs for this part of the garden. Are 65 slabs enough for this part of the garden? Show why you think this. So we're looking at the grey area. In terms of the dimensions, we've got this one given to us. We have this one, which is 7,200 millimeters. We've got this length again, which is 4,800. We've got this one, which is 3,600, but we don't know how long this one is. So we can work it out, and that would be taking away this length here, which is 4,800 millimeters, from this one here, which is 7,200. So we'll do 7,200, take away 4,800, and that gives us 2,400 millimeters. So that's 2,400. As this is a compound shape, so made of 2 rectangles, I'm going to split it here to help me with the whole thing. So I'm gonna work out how many slabs fit into this area first, and then into this one here. So I've got 2,400 by this length here, which is 3,600 and 1,800. Which gives us 5,400 millimeters. So how many slabs will fit along this length or this side? So we're going to do 2,400 divided by 600, because they're both millimeters, both the same unit. So 2,400 divided by 600, that gives us 4. So you can imagine 4 of them fit in there. What about along this length? So we're going to do 5,400 divided by 600, and that gives us 9. So you can imagine divisions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, more or less. So this would be 4 times 9, that gives us 36 slabs in this area. Now we still have this other area in grey, so we're going to go 4,800 divided by 600. and that gives us 8. And 1000, that's this one here, 1800 divided by 600, that gives us 3. So 3 times 8, that is 24 there. So something like this. So 36 and 24 gives us 60 slabs. And the question was, are 65 slabs enough? And we're going to say yes, because only 60 are needed. Question 7. Graham is the manager of a fast food restaurant. The table shows the amount of money lost due to food waste for 5 days. Graham wants to draw a graph to show the amount of money lost due to food waste. Draw a suitable graph for Graham. You could do a bar chart here, or you could do a line graph. I'm going to go for a line graph. So we're going to have to represent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, so 5 days. That will be horizontally. So we could have Monday here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So with a ruler, it's going to look much better on paper. And then vertically, what number are we going up to? The highest is 400. So starting from 0, could do 100 here, 200, 300, 400, 500, that works. And these numbers, what do they represent? That is amount of money in pounds. So we're going to have to label that. So we're going to look at Monday, and that goes up to 190. So Monday, that's 100, 190 would be here. Each small square represents 10. So we have Monday there. Tuesday, we've got 250. So 100, 250 would be right here. So I'm picking this to be right in the middle. And then Wednesday, that goes up to 210. So there we have 210 is going to be right here. Thursday goes up to 345. So that is 300, 350, 340. So this is going to be right here in the middle. And then we have Friday, which goes up to 400. So there we have Friday in the middle. 400 is going to be right here. So I'm gonna join the dots. And there we have our line graph. Now we've got to write 1 3/4 as a percentage. So 1 is 100%, a whole, 100%. Whereas 3/4, that is 75%. So altogether, this is 175%. Write 1 2/3 as a decimal. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So again, 1 is 1 whole, and as a decimal we just write it as 1. And we've got 2/3, so 2/3, that is 2 out of 3. And again, with a calculator you could do 2 divided by 3 if you don't know this by heart, and it's going to give you 0.666. So the 6 is recurring. Adding the 1 that we had here, this is going to be 1.666. Again, we've got to write the answer correct to 2 decimal places. So that means we have 2 digits after the decimal point. So looking at the digit right after this cutoff point, we've got a 6. And if it's 5 or over, we know that we need to round up. So this 6 here will become a 7. So 1.67 is the answer. Natasha is designing a building with a restaurant on the top floor. She needs to know how long it will take for a total of 40 people to travel in the lift from the ground floor to the restaurant. Natasha uses this formula: total number of people to travel, multiply that by 79, divide by 8, and gives the time to travel in seconds. Natasha thinks it will take more than 6 minutes for a total of 40 people to travel in the lift from the ground floor to the restaurant. Is Natasha correct? Show why you think this. So, total number of people to travel, that is 40. Multiply it by 79, and then the answer, we divide that by 8, and let's see what we get. That's 395. Again, that's seconds. And we've got to compare it to 6 minutes. So we need to convert this into minutes. We know there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So we're going to have to divide this by 60 to get the number of minutes. So 395 divided by 60 gives us 6.583, so on. So the 3 is recurring. So as it is 6 point something, it tells us that it's more than 6 minutes. So Natasha is correct. So we're going to say yes. It's 6.583. George is a farmer. He's going to put water piping along all the edges of a field. George draws this sketch of the field. Water piping cost £0.59 per metre. Calculate the total cost of the water piping George needs for this field. So, as it says, that he needs water piping along all the edges of the field, so we're going to have to go around. It's like working out the perimeter. So we're going to have to add 68 and 90 and 26 and 26, 42 and 64. Using a calculator, we get 316. So that's the number of meters, and we've got the cost as well. So we're going to do 316 times 0.59, which is 186.44, and we input pounds, so the answer is going to be in pounds. So £186 and 44 pence. John is organising a charity sailing race on the sea. He starts to draw this accurate scale map of the course. We've got the key, which says 1 centimetre on the map is half a kilometre on the sea. Sailors begin the race at the start and follow the course to the finish. So here is the start and here is the finish. John says the course has a total distance of more than 18 kilometres. Is John correct? You must show your working. So we've got the distance given from start to A, which is 3 centimetres, from A to B 4.5 centimetres, B to C 6.5 centimetres. We don't know C to D, D to E, and E to finish. So you've got to have to use a ruler to measure it. So using a ruler, this is 4 centimetres, this is 6 centimetres, and this is 9 centimetres. Now, the question is about the total distance, so we're going to add all of these together. So 3, add 4.5, add 6.5, add 4, add 6, add 9, which is 33 centimetres. Now the key says that 1 centimetre on the map is half a kilometre on the sea. So 1 centimetre represents half a kilometre. So what about 33 centimetres? How many kilometres does that represent? So to get from 1 to 33, we've multiplied by 33. So we'll do the same on the other side. So half times 33. Using a calculator, we can input 33 times 0.5, or we could divide 33 by 2, because in other words, this is half of 33. And that will give us 16.5 kilometers. Now, comparing that to 18, John said that it was a distance of more than 18 kilometers, which isn't true, as this is lower. So we're going to say no and 16.5 kilometers. John writes a large cheque to be used for publicity. John says we have raised £97,403 for charity. Write this number on the cheque for John. So that is 97,000. 97,000. So we'll use a comma to help me write it out. 403 pounds. So 403. You could add 2 zeros after the decimal point here if you like, or you could have just left it without the zeros and the decimal point. I'll write it in words here as well. So we've got it written for us. So I'll just copy that from there. Pounds, you need to specify, because it could be pence, and usually you just write only at the end when it comes to a check. And this is the end of the paper.